Hi, my name's Skott Rebello, and I'm the production manager for Salt Creek Vineyard. It's a 20-acre vineyard on a 130-acre farm. I've been maintaining for 5 years now. The vineyard itself has been here for 32 years and was established about the same time as most of the other vineyards in the local area. I have been working here for 5 years, but I actually started working here when I was 14 years old. I spent my February vacation here tying the grapevines to the trellis, and that was my first experience with grapes, and ever since then I've had a passion for the grapes and the grape industry. You know, I have a unique situation. I have 20 acres of grapes. It's strictly agriculture. There's no winery here, so my focus is to create a great grape. Any winemaker can make a good wine out of a bad grape, but it takes a great grape to make a great wine. And so being in agriculture like this, and I'm also in horticulture, to do this, to create a good grape is the best thing I can do for the industry for Massachusetts, because anybody can grow a grape, but not too many people can grow a really good one. So what makes this vineyard unique for Massachusetts especially, but all of New England, is that it's one of the largest vineyards that's strictly agriculture. There's no winery here. The homeowner or the property owner expressed to me originally when we started the vineyard that she did not want a winery here. She just wanted it to stay a farm and stay agriculture. So it's a 130-acre farm. There's 32 acres of fields, 20 acres of grapes, and the rest are woods that go all the way down to a marsh that has trails, walking trails that are very beautiful at any time of year. So the vineyard itself is very unique because of that. Okay, this variety here is Vidal. This is a French hybrid. It's also a very aggressive grower, so we have to do several things to keep it in check. We prune the tops. We also have to do some cluster thinning. When you get to a certain point in the season, you have clusters that aren't developed as much as the rest, and they need to be removed physically. Cane thinning is also something that's done to reduce the grape load on the plant. Each plant has a certain number of canes growing on it. The canes should only take up 4 to 6 canes per foot, so you have to manually go through, count the canes, and remove extra canes to the point where you only have 4 to 6 per foot. This is done so that you have balanced pruning, so that the plant produces the same amount of grapes every year, and that way it only takes up the same amount of nutrients every year, and it will continue to produce grapes of the same quality every year. That's downy mildew. That's what happens on the bottom of the leaf. So when we have that situation, we'll come through and we'll trim off the excess, and this is called hedging. And that way the airflow is improved, the grapes are in a zone where the pesticides can reach them, and the load on the plant is reduced. The other thing that some vineyards do is called leaf pulling, and in the cluster zone they actually remove the leaves completely so that the spray can reach the clusters. In my situation, there's too many vines here to be able to do that, so I have to grin and bear it and just hope that the spray penetrates. So we do the hedging so that the grapes can get the spray, but it also helps in removing some of the downy mildew that's built up on the leaves. Okay, so one of the difficult parts about New England and Massachusetts is the unpredictable weather in the winter. Cold temperatures are a factor. In most vineyards, the best way to grow a grape is to have one trunk. One vine has one trunk. In New England, we have to practice multi-trunks, because if we get temperatures below 5 below 0, 10 below 0, the plants can actually die to the ground. So where we have 3 trunks here, we're hoping that at least one of them will survive. And then the next year, if there's a situation where they all survived, then we'll thin out the trunks, and maybe we'll only leave 2. This year we left 3 because one of them has some mechanical damage. But In typical situations, we would leave at least 1 or 2 for the year, but at the end of the year, we would have renewals coming from the bottom that would need to be pruned out, and then we would just allow these to grow as is. So last year we did 56 tons that went all over New England. About 50% goes down to Stonington, Connecticut, Stonington Vineyards. Another 20% goes up north to New Hampshire. Newport Vineyards acquired about 10 tons last year. And then the rest goes all over New England, a ton here, a ton there, 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds, it varies. But altogether, I have about 15 winemakers that are all over New England that use the grapes. The history here has had 3 different production managers, including myself. And at this point, I expect to be here for a while, but the last production manager was here for almost 20 years. It's a job you have to love, and I love it.